Django, you ready, bud? Take a deep breath, all right? They're all our friends.
Yeah, okay. We can do this. I can do it.
Hey, ComicsPro. I'm Jeff, and Django and I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we did with our pandemic vacation.
Oh, buddy, was it a vacation or what?
Oh my gosh, you had a lot more hair at the beginning.
I sure did.
What did we do? What did we build?
Well, we built a point-of-sale system, a browser-based point-of-sale that helps us manage in our store our customers and our orders, helps us keep track of everything from soup to nuts.
Inventory is a big part of it.
Yep, inventory. Subscriptions was the big hard part to manage when we started coding it, and we figured that out.
The big thing for us was we both really like data, and we approach everything from totally different standpoints. Django knows databases. I don't, and I have a heart. So I like talking to people. But it was really meaningful for us to not tell anybody how to run their store. We just wanted to get something that worked for us. We had shut the store down for the pandemic, so we thought, let's take this opportunity and make a thing.
I don't know if I'd do it again, but I sure do like doing it.
I know. Next time we would do the bar with the axe throwing, right? My idea?
Yeah. That's probably a better idea.
But this is at least gives us something to show ComicsPro. You know, the big thing with this is to basically help any store owner make more informed decisions at every level, whether it's your orders, how to fix series problems, making your polls sheets, short polls, all of that jazz.
Just running the whole store.
All of it.
I mean, all the parts that a computer can do. And the way we approached it was not to tell you how to do it, but to make sure that you have enough information to do it in the best way possible.
Also, we needed this thing to be up and running when we opened our store again. So we immediately needed to make it ugly and do the things it was supposed to do. But now we're finally in a spot where we're actually able to make things look a little bit better, refine them. We've gotten some wonderful feedback from other store owners and people that have done our little demos with us. So it's been super humbling to see how everybody does things and take that feedback into account. So I think that we're probably ready to get into the beast.
Yeah.
Get into the beast. Jen, you want to take us away to contacts?
Yeah, let's look at contacts. Our goal with contacts was to make it really easy to enter somebody and to get a little more information than what our previous point of sale collected from people so that we could streamline their interactions at the register and also some of their back-end pull sheets and information like that. Here we can look at their subscriptions. Super easy to add a subscription. You just scan an item or search for it, and then you can push it over here to their active subscriptions. From there, you can toggle a subscription on or off, and you can also edit somebody's start and end issue. So if somebody's going to leave town, you can make a note of that. Over here, we've got requests. That's just special orders, super straightforward, and you can decide whether or not you order it or do not order it from your distributor. When you search for a request, it does a little bit of that thinking for you and tries to decide if the item has already been on FOC or initial, and whether or not you should order an extra one for this customer who's got a special request in.
That was a nice bit of code on your part, baby.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I hope it gets smarter.
I think so.
I'm hoping it does it all on its own.
It will. We just got to nurture it.
Pulls is probably like the brain center of the whole thing. This is stuff that you have set aside off the floor for your customer in their files. You can add things to pulls real easy just by scanning it. If there's only one match, it adds it automatically. And then over in the main pulls section, you can remove something from someone's pulls, or you can also remove and unsubscribe at the same time, which saves you a couple of clicks. One cool bulk action that you can do here, this is probably my favorite part of the whole thing, is clicking on New Transaction from Pulls, which will bring up a transaction that includes everything that was in someone's file. So you can see here that this guy likes bags and boards, and so it's already got his bags and boards auto-filled. If you were to add new products to this order, it would add bags and boards automatically. And of course, you can turn subscriptions on and off from that transaction screen to save you from forgetting to do that, like I always forget to do.
If our moms could just see us right now, me talking about being excited about streamlined orders, and you genuinely saying the most exciting thing was being able to load a transaction from polls. Well, I'm going to take us over the order section here. It does initial orders, FOCs, and it also does custom orders. For the sake of this presentation, I'm just going to show you an FOC, which essentially looks the same as an initial order. As you can see right here, it's got the image loaded, it's got the title, all that standard information that you'd expect to know about an item from an order. So series code, month codes, which distributor you're working on. for some awesome feedback we got from some other retailers. There's a little cover gallery here that shows all the other covers for that same issue that are on this order. That was very cool. Going into like the number processing portion of it, it was really humbling to talk to other store owners, get their feedback, and see how they do their ordering. Like we said at the beginning, the goal of this is not to try and tell you how to do your ordering, but to give you as much information at any given time so that you can have more informed decisions. I think that a good part of us developing this at the time that we did is we, like you, got a big influx of new distributors that we need to be placing orders from. So Lunar, Penguin Random House, doing more Ingram, Diamonds, all that jazz. This makes it easy to kind of distinguish those orders, specialize which one's going to be coming from where. But right here, this is kind of the most important portion of the information. It determines what numbers you're going to be putting in. Because this is an FOC, we don't do initial orders for Penguin. We don't currently have any on order, but this shows you your current on order for that item. You can look at the number of holds, so the number of subscriptions that that series has, and you can hover over that to get a look at the names. There's a number of requests right here. So as Django described earlier, people can place special orders for items and not be subscribed to them. This shows that. And then total polls is the sum of both of those things. And a thing that we really like that I was hesitant about at first and Django shoved me into, like many things, and ended up being very smart, was a shelf target quantity. This determines how many copies of this book, and it's tied to series, that you want on the shelf after you've done all of your polls. So in Devil's Reigns instance, I want 2 on the shelf. It's going to crunch those numbers, and this yellow little bubble here is going to give you a suggested number, which is the total of all your polls and your shelf quantities, and you can push a number in there. And it turns green once you've placed your number in. It'll stay yellow if it's not right.
And also, if you need to do a quick order, right, you can use that number to auto-populate your entire order.
This is the part that I use a lot. Right here, it's just going to show you all of the issues in the series that you're looking at, how many you ordered, how many you received, and then how many were claimed from the number that you received. And that's the sum of your sold and how many are left in the subscribers' pull files. There's a little field for your staff to make notes, so if there's somebody who's really into manga or somebody who's into video game stuff or board games, you can put these notes in here if it's maybe something that's not quite on your radar. It's a real nice way to make sure everybody's kind of getting their voices in on the ordering process. There's a room to provide reorder points and minimum points. Those are really, really helpful for providing a number that you always want to have in stock for a book. There's ways to navigate the entire order more quickly or slowly. You can jump from series to series within a publisher, or you can jump from publisher to publisher. But I think that for the most part, that's our orders. There's a different view that you can use. That's the detailed view, we call it, under the hood. The other view is the line item view. The helpful thing about this is it can help you to make sure you're not making any egregious errors, like the one time that I ordered 100 copies of Mighty Mouse. But in order to prevent Jeff from ever doing that again, we've got flags that you can designate in here for your own price threshold. So we've created a threshold where anytime a line item exceeds a certain value, it flags it in yellow here. So you can scan through the order in this line item view, and it'll just tell you to note your line item cost, to say like, hey, that's $134. Are you sure you want to do that? Also, it'll flag in red these pull count numbers here if you're ever below the required number. So there's a couple safeguards built in. You can scan visually rather than using analytical data knowledge and just sort of be like, oh, that's a big red flag. I shouldn't do that. So that has been really, really helpful. And then you can export it in basically any form that you need to send to the distributors, which we all know are great in number now. So Django, I think that's probably everything we need for orders. Do you want to take us to invoices, the fourth stomach of this four-stomached beast?
So invoices can be uploaded from pretty much any distributor that we work with. Super easy to add other distributors. An invoice should represent everything that you have coming in a box from a distributor. And on this invoice, you can enter how many you received, how many were damaged, how many were slightly damaged, so that you can allocate those issues to the guy that rolls them up and sticks them in his back pocket before he leaves the store.
Alan.
Al. Yeah.
Alan.
Yep. Once you've entered all of that information, you can click for short pulls. That gives you a list of all the comics on this order that you didn't receive enough to fill orders, and you can choose who gets them and who gets skipped. Tons of information there so that you can decide, who you want to skip.
How your store does it.
And from there, once you've locked the invoice, you can print out pull sheets. And we got really excited when we realized that we could combine pull sheets from multiple distributors and touch the comics one or two fewer times when we're dealing with filing them away for our customers.
It's cool to be talking to other people who know that it's exciting to combine invoices for pull sheets, because we've been telling our families about that, and none of them seem to care. But I do think that that's basically all of the main stuff that we wanted to cover in this very abbreviated thing.
It's like 9 legs. It's like the 9 legs that
Nine-legged
cover
chair.
it. Yeah. It also does a lot of other things. We use it to track our employee time, clock in and clock out. We use it to look at our sales reports and our polls. Like we could see which customers haven't been in a long time. Find our delinquent people. What else do we use it for? Oh, like an internal messaging system, so we know who we kicked out this week.
Yeah. That guy that threatened you with the big stick.
That guy's not coming back.
He's not coming back here. Django, do you want to tell everybody about back issues a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have another module that is integrated with this system, but doesn't have to be. And it's the result of Jeff and I discovering a problem where I buy too many back issues and then nobody knows where they are in the store. And so we've come up with what we think is a pretty good solution for really fast inventory on your back issues and then retrieving those for customers based on their want lists. I'm really excited to show it to people, but we don't have time today.
They'll have to ask to see it.
They can go to comicshopassistant.com to do that.
Good plug.
Yeah,
also,
like
we've
that?
got a booth Marco was generous enough to set up for us, so thank you very much in that regard. So Django, this thing manages your contacts.
Yep.
Keeps a really in-depth inventory database for everything that's come out and coming out that you can modify yourselves.
All of that.
It's a great ordering tool in my mind. It's a
Yep.
great check-in tool for all those other things.
Yep.
And then it does a bunch of other stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, let's show them a list. Should we
This is
hang out and
yeah. So this is the.
just look like they
So,
could?
I don't think they'll be seeing us now. I think that's the list.
Right.
The list. So let's just give them a couple seconds. Probably.
It's probably good.
Probably good. I think we're probably good there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. A huge thank you to ComicsPro. Thanks for bearing with us through this. We really would love to show you more about it when there's more time to do it. So check out those links that we just shouted out. It's been really, really rewarding to talk to other store owners about how they order their comics and the things that they require and what is totally ancillary in here or what's necessary that's not there. So we really look forward to more feedback. This is a really rewarding part of the job, is getting to see everyone at ComicsPro. So we're really grateful. Thanks to Marco for letting us get in here.
And that's our system.
That's our system.
That's the
We
whole
did
thing.
it. I think that it's
Yeah.
going to help everybody save money. It certainly saved us a lot of
It
money.
saved us money and bacon.
And there's never enough bacon.
comicshopassistant.com.
There's never enough bacon. Love it.